most of it.
Any idea how much power was out at once? This is insane. But this is the one again.
Alright, ma'am, just first off, can you just do us a favor and spell your first and last name for us?
First name is Joan, last name is Powell.
How long have you lived here?
Oh, 40 some years.
And have you ever encountered storms of this magnitude?
Never. Never.
What was your initial, when you saw that the tree had fallen on your vehicle?
Well, I didn't know at first. All I heard was glass shatter. And I couldn't get out my front door because the tree, there was branches all over. A real nice person stopped and knocked on my door, make sure I was okay. And then he said he had a chainsaw so that I could open the door, because I could open the door maybe about that much. So he said he had a chainsaw, he was going to go home and get it and come back and clear the path so that I could at least get out the door. And this was all, everything was just covered with limbs and stuff. Like I said, they cleared some of the sidewalk so I could at least get in and out of the house. But I heard the crash of the window, the glass clash. I ran through my house looking to see, oh my God, what happened? And then I looked out the door and I seen a tree coming in my window on the little room off the side of the house.
When you heard the glass shatter, what was going through your mind? What did you think happened?
I didn't know. I thought, oh my God, please help me. I didn't know what to think. How
big was that tree I was looking up?
Oh,
yesterday?
it was really big. As long as I've lived here, that tree's been there. It was big.
Is it weird to look up now and?
Yeah, it is. It really is. It really is.
Did you ever think, when you looked up at that tree and say, hey, if a big storm comes through here, this tree's gonna come down?
No, not that one. I thought maybe this one over here on the side of my house might, but never thought that one would. But fortunately, we were all safe, and that's what counts.
When things calmed down and you came outside to assess the damage, I guess, were you surprised at the aftermath?
Yeah, I was, very much so. Very much so. Yes.
How about your car? How upset did that make you when you saw your car?
Well, I thought, it's better my car than having holes in my house. So, but yeah, I didn't see my car. They took pictures of it to show me because my daughter wouldn't let me come out of the house yesterday. But until they got something cleared away from here, she made me stay in the house, my little caretaker.
So, how many times you've been outside this morning before you walked up to just look at the?
Well, I came out. This might be the third time I've been out this morning. Might be the third time. Yeah.
Did you guys lose power?
No, fortunately I didn't. Across the street they did, but I was lucky. I had the tree, but at least I had power. Couldn't get out my door. I had power.
When you first saw it, the first time you laid eyes on the damage, what kind of emotions? What were you thinking?
I was just numb. I didn't know what to think.
You think a quick summer pop-up storm like this?
I didn't know, the winds were so strong because I heard all that blowing and everything, the winds, the trees, I seen the trees through my side windows, those bushes over there and everything. I seen them swaying back and forth and all, and I thought, God, I don't know what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden I heard the glass crash and that was it.
When the tree came down, how loud was it? Was it really loud?
No, I really didn't hear the tree. I had the TV on. I was watching television at the time. But I had the TV on, and I didn't really hear the crash. All I heard was the glass shatter. And I don't know, might have been from my car too, that some of the glass, but my little room with the tree coming through my window there, that's mainly what I heard.
You mentioned the tree's always been here. How big has it grown since you've lived here?
Oh God, I don't know. It was higher than that one right there, I know. It was really, really big.
Oh, yeah.
I've lived here over 40 years, and it's been here as long as I've lived here, over 40 years. So yeah.
Has it affected any of the sunlight coming into your house now?
No, none at all.
So it's just about the same amount of sunniness?
Oh yeah.
even though you have significant damage here, with the tree gone, is it make it for maybe a nicer view, nicer?
Well, I don't know until they get all this cleared out, because when I look, all I see is all this mess right here, all the way down out to the street. That's all I see right now. There was an electric wires. You can still see some of the wires going through that pole there. Had electrical wires, and it pulled them down. It was hanging, coming down the yard. Yeah, it was coming down the yard, and then it went through the wires. They disconnected the wires so it wouldn't be hot wires, but they went all around and they go back through the back of the house. The governor used to, Hodges, he lived there, and when he did, that's when they put that extra wiring in there. And I don't know, oh, half of their tree is gone too, I see. I didn't notice that before.
How do you start kind of, I guess, rebuilding your yard, replace your car? Where do you go from here?
I'm waiting for the insurance adjusters to get a hold of me to find out about the car, and we were supposed to have somebody coming and do our lawn today, but they can't do the lawn because of the debris. So we just have to wait and see what happens, you know, when they clear everything off.
Well, good. Glad you're okay. Do you
Thank
have
you.
anything else, like, personally you'd like to add?
No, nothing.
How
Nothing.
old are you, ma'am?
How old am I?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be 75 next month.
Excellent.
I'll be 75.
Well, happy early birthday.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And I know 526 good, and she lives downtown at Lot One. And so I called her, please don't leave her. And don't.
You can't see it dropping, and the sky was just lighting up, and it looked like it was hitting the ground. It was just like the bolts you see in photographs.
You want some more?
So when they give you an option of a colony or something, or this right here would be why I don't want to live here. Oh yeah. This is crazy. This street got hammered. Chainsaw won't start, that's fantastic. Is that where you guys were? Come on. That's right.
Here we go, come on. Big one.
so dangerous. I'm gonna head down there and come back. See the one on, where were we before? Where that old lady was. Hayward and, oh, my package is done now. This is fantastic. I'm going to stand up in front of one of these trees and I'm good. I'll be home by 3 o'clock. Good. Yeah, so huh? I'll let her babysit me. Just look down the middle.
Okay.
Last night, 5-ish, giant storm blew through the Columbia area, hit Shandon pretty hard. What happened?
Well, you know, basically we had a storm come through here in the evening yesterday. Excuse me. Now, yesterday we had a storm come through here in the evening, and it brought some significant rain, some significant wind. Came through Shandon, knocked down a bunch of trees. It was like a war zone out here last night, just all the trees laid out in the street, in people's yards, power lines down. We actually had trees on top of houses. We actually had to go in and retrieve somebody out of one of the houses in the King Park area. So it came through with a vengeance last night.
Have you guys seen a concentration of this destruction? Not so much without having, a tornado come through? Or...
Well, as you recall, last year we actually had a storm that went through Greenview as well. Knocked down a bunch of trees on top of houses, power line. So I don't think this was as devastating as the one in Greenview, but we still got a bunch of trees down, and as you can see, there are workers out here now trying to clear up everything, for these folks out here.
80 calls over a 3-hour time period. What did you guys do for folks out here? Trees down, power lines down. What's the fire department's role in a situation like this?
Well, basically, anytime you have power lines down, we go out to make sure it's safe. We make sure that there's no type of fire that has been started from the power line. We also, as far as trees on top of houses, we did check with people inside those houses, make sure that they was okay, make sure there were no type of issues, just make sure that they are safe.
Any injuries to anybody?
Well, again, we did have one person that we actually had to go in and extricate out of a house where a tree fell on top of the house. That person was looked at by EMS. Not sure they got transported or not. We do know that there was one person that was displaced last night. The city did open up a shelter at King Park. However, that person, because it was just one person, they was able to get a hotel room for that person last night.
Any idea why Shandon's hit so hard when we have pop-up storms like that? Why? It seems like Shandon takes the brunt of the problems.
I don't know, I guess you got, these nice big trees out here, and some of them just don't I would imagine, don't have deep roots, so you got that kind of wind coming through, that stronger wind, it's very easy to topple over a tree.
Any tips for folks who have trees like the one behind us up in their yard?
Well, the only thing I can tell them is just make sure that they stay away from the tree. Don't try to walk through it, get entangled in it. Again, if you got any down power lines, stay away from the power lines because you don't know if they're energized or not. We do know that SCNG has been going through checking everything, but you don't want to take that chance. If SCNG or the fire department have not been to your location, just give us a call so we come check to make sure you're okay.
Now, a lot of times people are inside for severe weather. Besides staying away from the window, a lot of these trees, fly right through the house. What tips, safe tips, you recommend for people inside their homes besides staying away from the windows?
Well, I guess if you experience this type of storm, if you can get to a basement, get to a center room, if it's bad enough, get up under some type of furniture, hard, pretty strong furniture. So if you do have something that crashed in your house, whatever, that you can be protected.
In your years in public safety, have you seen a storm leave such damage? I mean, it looks like a war zone over here.
Well, yeah, we've seen it. Obviously, when the hurricane came through, we get stuff like this, but just your typical storm, this is pretty bad just for your typical storm.
That's wonderful. Unless you have anything else you want to add about these big trees behind you. You want to go climb it, or safety tips for climbing the fallen trees?
Well, I think I tell you kind of what happened. Really, Watch Fox and WHX, their weather person didn't make the right call, and now we got this devastation. So I think what we need to do is we actually need to go talk to the weather guys, and I'm gonna serve them with a warrant because they should have predicted all this, so we won't have to be out here in all this mess. But since they did not predict this, then you know what? We just gotta charge them with the scene of a crime.
That's some YouTube gold right there. I would be on the camera might be taking off.
I was ready to jump.
Yeah, I was getting ready. I try to hang in as long as I can and move it to left.
Well, okay. You're gonna put us.
That's right, Teresa Wilson's not out here making sure everybody's okay.
I know. We're.
Big. What now? Did I talk to Randall? The guy next door?
No, not yet. No.
No? We should get him out here with me. I said I should get Randall out here with me.
All right, man. If you wouldn't mind just looking my way.
Okay.
Just first off, can you just spell your first last name for us, or your first name if you don't want to give away your last name?
Deborah,
And how long have you lived in this area?
about 13 years.
Have you ever seen storms like this come through before?
One other year, about 2 years ago, when we had a tree over here that was pulled down, quite almost as big as this one.
So talk us through like what was going on. Were you guys inside? What kind of noise you heard?
Well, I was actually starting dinner for the kids, and the kids were watching TV. We heard it started pouring down rain. I looked outside through our glass doors, and some of the larger trees were toppling way over. That's when I decided I thought we need to get a basement. So we grabbed our flashlights and some candles, and I grabbed the cell phone. And we were about halfway down when we heard a crash. And we bolted downstairs actually at that point, but
I'm serious.
I think it.
What was it like when you heard this tree?
Scary. I thought I had no idea what it was. I just knew it was very large, very large. Scared my kids to death.
And when everything calmed down and you came out and saw the aftermath, what was going through your mind?
Shock. total shock. Then I realized I couldn't see my car.
When you guys came outside after it kind of calmed down a little bit, what was your thoughts? Just like looking and seeing like all over. Do you think it was just like the street, or did you realize it was the entire area?
No, I actually felt like it was just here, right here. When I came to the front of the house from upstairs in the basement, you couldn't see out the windows in in front of the house. So I knew that there was a tree down. I just didn't know how bad it was.
It's a big tree. I'm sure you probably looked at it 1,000 times.
A million times.
Did you ever think this tree would come down?
Never, not in a million years. It was a beautiful tree. It branched out wonderfully. It had a tremendous amount of shade for us. I hate that we're going to lose it.
How big is the void right now when you look at the sky? It's just like, you know.
It's massive. It's massive. When it took this tree took another actually magnolia tree down with it, so it's a great loss. And I'm hoping that we're actually going to be able to save our tree in front of our house. So this tree, we'll see.
It looked like it just missed.
It's leaning. It's crumbled. Some of the branches are actually pushing up against my windows. That's what's so scary, you know. So we're just kind of waiting to see how bad my car looks once we get into that. We're just glad everybody was okay.
It's under.
Yeah, it's under all of it. It's under all.
When we have these pop-up thunderstorms that bring serious wind and turn into severe storms, I think Shandon takes a pretty
lot
good
of it.
brunt of the damage. Any idea why you think Shandon takes such a hard hit?
I don't know. I know because we have very mature trees, and I really feel like some of them have aged, and for some reason we get these little clips of wind. And this was huge, though. It made the hair on the back of my neck stand up.
Now, knowing what has happened, is it making you think about maybe taking some other trees down so you don't have to go through this again?
No, actually, I wouldn't. I really enjoy the trees. That's what makes Shandon, is the mature trees. It's really nice. I hate that we're going to lose this. It's probably one of the biggest trees in Shandon, actually.
What do you do now?
Wait until they unbury me? I don't know. But I would have another tree just the same way. I wouldn't change a thing.
So top heavy.
It's huge.
The roots are just, I guess.
It has such a huge base you'd never know, and you would never in a million years think that it would do that. And I don't know, some people speculated it had a lot to do with the rain, you know, because the roots and everything was so wet. Maybe so.
Now, I'm new to the area, like right here, but are there cobblestones underneath this asphalt?
Not that I know of, no.
Because it looks like it might just prevent it from the roots from going out and getting more.
I don't know. I mean, it's an old neighborhood, so I don't know.
How long have you lived here?
About 13 years. I've lived in Columbia all my life, and I've lived in this area all my life. 13 years. 12 years. 12 years, excuse me.
12 years. So you've seen a fair amount of storms come through the area. Where would you rate this one?
It's up there at the top. It's probably one of the worst.
We're good if you're good.
I'm fine.
Can you say and spell your first and last name?
Yeah, Deborah, Deborah, Calder, Caulder. Good?
It's just getting out of control, man. The colony you got shot?
Yeah, let's talk to her.
Yeah, exactly.
How's it going, man?
Tell me, it's all politics.
All right.
You can come back where you were standing. Good? Yep. Can you just say and spell your first and last name?
Daniel Bars, Daniel Barrs.
And what company are you guys with?
Blue Sky Tree Care.
That's out of Columbia?
Yes, sir.
So last night a storm blew through the Shandon area and other parts of Columbia. Shandon got hit pretty hard. From someone who's out, you know, dealing with, I guess, the nature and trees on a daily basis, how bad is this here?
Well, what you got is we've got so much rain. You know, you're looking at 18 days in a row we've had rain. The ground's so wet. You know, it doesn't take much of a wind to come through and cause this kind of damage. It's pretty rough. The Shandon area got hit pretty hard, you know, yesterday and last night.
You guys got your work cut out for you today.
Oh, yes, sir. We'll be busy in this little neighborhood for a couple days here. So.
I mean, looking around some of these trees, there's some mammoth trees that have gone down.
Oh, yeah.
What, from your experience, I mean, have you ever seen anything where so many large trees got taken out in one storm?
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, we've seen this thing before, you know, this type of thing. You know, it's like I say, you know, it's just the ground's so moist, you know, these like you say, these are some big trees out here. They're a lot of weight. They got these big wide canopies, you know, and the slightest little wind just, you know, comes through and blows them right over. And this is the worst we've seen here, and you know, it's been a while since we've seen anything like this.
What's so special about Shandon? Why does it take such a hit during these storms?
I guess it was just in the path of it. I'm not sure. You know, just wherever the wind decides to go through, you know, that's who's going to get hit. So.
Roughly how long, on average, does it take to clean up a tree this size?
We'll get this one out of here today. You know, considering the equipment and all that we have, you know, me and this one guy here, we'll get it all out of here today.
Are you guys the only crew from your company?
Yes, sir. It's just us. Yep.
Do you have other jobs already lined up after?
Oh yeah, we tend to stay about 4 to 6 weeks out, sometimes a little more. We stay pretty busy around this area. So.
Any tips for folks that live in the area that might be concerned after this storm of what they can do so this doesn't happen to them with the next one?
Well, you could definitely give us a call. 740-1205. We'd be happy to come out and take a look at any trees you got in your yard, any concerns you may have. You know, we'd be happy to answer some questions for you, just kind of, you know, let you know, give you our opinion on them, let you know if something might need to come out, or, you know, maybe just some work done to them to make them a little safer. We'd be happy to do so.
These older trees here, it seems like the roots, he was telling me earlier, look like the roots don't really go in the ground, they're more on top. Talk about the dangers that the trees here pose for.
Well, that basically just depends on the type of tree it is. Some trees have a lot of surface roots. Like I say, it just depends on what type of tree it is. Some trees are their roots are mainly underground. As far as these bigger trees, you're going to see those surface roots. If you see them sticking out in the ground a pretty good bit, you know, 10 or 12 inches, you know, might raise a little concern. But other than that, these big water oaks, live oaks, things like that, you're going to see those roots and whatnot up out the ground. It's not really a big concern.
It's just the wind, gusts of wind are so strong it can just take anything down?
Right. Well, being at the ground so wet at the same time, you know, with strong enough wind's going to take a tree down anyway, so.